Hello, everybody. Valentin Todorow here from Elire. On today's session, we're going to look at a high-level overview of the Oracle Integration Cloud Service. Okay, these are instances that are running within Oracle Cloud infrastructure. Okay, that help you to integrate not just SaaS applications or SaaS and Fusion applications, but on-prem applications to your SaaS applications. Okay, we're going to be starting here logged in first of all, and looking at the left-hand side navigation. So what you'll have, and we're looking at generation 3 here of OIC, is you will have kind of the general space where you can do your settings. You might have a design where you have integrations and connections and packages. This is kind of coming from the legacy version 2 and before. Everything kind of with Gen 3 and forward is going to be actually leveraging projects, and you want to start leveraging projects, but kind of the legacy artifacts are still left in here, and you can build kind of out of the project space integrations and connections, but we do advise people to start leveraging projects because they are much easier to migrate, to deploy, and it's kind of the new Gen 3 approach is to leverage projects. Okay. You can, of course, the settings themselves are outside of the project, so anything to do with the security, the storage, your file servers, you want to do this on the highest level, but everything else you want to perform within the projects, including the observability, any business to business, internet connections, healthcare, robotics, you want to do within a project. So most of the time, I'll be talking about projects within OIC. Okay, we'll open up a single project. So this is our sample OIC project, and in here, the first homepage is going to be a collection of the first 4 integrations. We only have 1, but it'll display up to 4, and then you're able to see more than 4 down here if you do have more than 4 integrations. This is kind of course, the heart of OIC is interconnections with integrations. You'll have a tile here for your connections. Again, these are FTP connections, connections to Microsoft, to AWS, AS2 connections, Fusion connections, whatever it may be. You'll have these, including agents, if you have any agents running on-prem. Okay. Further down, you might have lookups. So these could be specific values that then you call these lookups within an integration. So instead of hard coding values within your mapper, you can actually kind of break those apart. Maybe there are element entries for an Oracle HCM Fusion system. You want to have those separate because those element entries might change over time. So having a basic table structure is a lot easier external than having something hard coded, and easier to maintain down the road. So you want to use lookups there. Okay. We also have JavaScript libraries if you did need some complex situations. I've used JavaScript for where I need to do things to a file that are more complex than what I can do within a mapper. You can just build some simple JavaScript in here and actually call that JavaScript libraries within your integration up here. So those are the 4 most common used kind of homepage tiles themselves. Okay, and right now we're within the design tab of it. So you notice we're in the design tab. Okay, at the top you also have, currently you're in this tile view, but if you click on this representation, this will actually give you a tree of connections. Okay, we only have 2. We have this integration is using this connection, but if you have multiple integrations, it'll actually give you a kind of a spider web of everything that's interconnected. Lookups connected to integrations, to other connections. So you have that capability here at the top to kind of switch to view. Okay. You also have high level who can access this. So here at right next to the refresh, you'll have the share, and you can assign, who the owner is, who can monitor, who can view it. So if you have development team members, you can kind of give them some high level control right through here on this where the share is. Okay. On the left side, you'll actually see a couple of other capabilities. So these are pure play integrations here. That's kind of the first tab. You might have some robotics where you have bots, be it automation bots or testing bots. So you can set those up. If you have healthcare connections right now, this is something that just came out at the turn of 2024 to 2025. So once you enable these, you can create integrations and connections and notifications for your healthcare. And then the last one on here is B2B. So you might have schemas, EDI schemas for anything 850, PO, 834, benefits information. So various kind of already predefined EDI schemas, and you want to leverage those, you can quickly add a schema, tag it to a document so that you could track it with some kind of business identifier. And then you would set up a trading partner with those schemas and actually set up as an AS2, an FTP connection, and actually transport the information back and forth, set up agreements, and be able to transfer data through that route. Okay. Within the integrations, we're going to come back to the integrations. We're, of course, with it, we're in the design piece of it. You'll also see that there's a deploy piece and an observe piece. Okay. And these were all available on this higher level. You actually see where the design was. You have integrations, connections, lookups, and if you go back, we also have the observability. This is akin, but it's all housed within a single project. Okay, so that's why the Gen3 has projects, so that everything is kind of within its own container that's easy to deploy. Okay, and projects themselves, if you go back to the project level, you can see that you can easily export a project, configure it, clone it. So it's just another layer of the onion that's easier to maintain over time. Okay. So there we go. So let's go back into the project. So if you wanted to even deploy this project and pull specific integrations, you could build a deploy right out of the box. And that's what this secondary tab allows you to do. You can go and create, say, this is my prod deployment pod. Okay, you create it. And then you can actually select, okay, what integration do I want? Because you could have 20 integrations, some in different states, clones of each other. And you don't want all of those being pushed over, right? You don't want the entire project moved over because maybe some things are just sandboxes that you've been playing with. Others are bad versions. So here we want to select just this project. We want to save it and then copy off that file and export it, okay? So here we go. We can export that and then deploy it, okay? And then we have the deployment kind of as a historical object. Then we can actually export and move into the prod instance of OIC if you wanted to. Okay, so that's kind of what the deploy is. And again, you can always toggle back to your designer, look at your integrations, and then see what happened. Okay, and manipulate them. Okay, the observe tab is where your instances that you've run will be housed. So here you can actually see your integrations, the instances. Whenever you do run any kind of integrations, it's going to assign an instance ID. This one aired out for us. And you can actually open up that instance as well. Okay, so for this one, you can actually click on this little view details. It'll open up the stream, and actually you can check exactly, step by step what happened within that integration, and look at the instance details if you wanted to. Okay, if an integration was running right now in a running state, you could have aborted it or resubmitted it, kind of restarting it. So it's kind of a way to maintain running tasks themselves. Okay, it is always defaulted to the last hour, but you can always filter that. If you ran something multiple days ago, you can apply a filter and they will show you everything else, right? Any subscriptions, future runs is great too. If you have scheduled integrations, this will actually give you little diamond icons for this week or this month. We don't have anything scheduled, so there's nothing on here, but you'll see audio integrations and then a chart showing you exactly where your future runs are. So if you have something that's recurring every month, you'll actually see that on the calendar as well. And we'll have a video coming up on that as well. And then the audit is effectively a history of everything that's happened in that project. So if you are the owner, you have access to see this and see who's locking, unlocking, deleting, changing things within the project, kind of a high-level auditing functionality here within the Observe tab of your OIC project. Okay, so we'll go back to the design. And again, this is the main landing page where you manipulate your integrations, connections, lookups, and libraries. So again, very high-level overview. Hopefully it was useful to you, and we'll catch you again next time. Thanks for watching.